How we see ourselves is vital to our ability to succeed. But what does success mean to you? What does it mean to most youth? To many people, it's fame, it's popularity, it's money, it's having lots of things. And it becomes so easy to be fascinated by, the musicians, the movie stars, the sports figures that we see they're kind of at the front and center of everything around us. And it can be easy for many people, but especially young people, to look at that and go, maybe fame and fortune will be mine one day. Well, if we define success as the ability to achieve fame and fortune, well, most of us would already be considered unsuccessful. But what if you saw yourself as already successful? How would that affect the way you feel and think about yourself? How much more confident would you be? How tall would you walk? Because how we see ourselves determines our success. And success really is a result of our choices, not our circumstances. Everyone is born with gifts and abilities. And with these gifts and abilities come dreams and desires to succeed. And the thing about it is, these gifts and abilities, these dreams and the desires, they're the most tender part of us. They're the part that's most easily injured. And we have to face it. In life, stuff happens. Circumstances can come our way that are overwhelming. And our natural human instinct is to protect ourselves from things that hurt. And when we do that, what we end up doing is we put walls up around our gifts and abilities and the desire to succeed. And it gets to the place where we can't even see the gifts and abilities. And now we actually respond from the walls. Well, this is something I experienced in my own life. I remember at the age of 6 years old, I was sitting at the kitchen table in our country home, and just a few feet away was my mom, and she was screaming at me because the next day we were having a spelling test and I just couldn't remember some of my words. And as I was sitting there, I recall running my hands through my hair, feeling so stupid and saying to myself, I'll never get it. I'll never get it. And now as I look back, I realize it was at that time that I put a wall of stupidity up around my gifts and abilities. When you feel you're stupid, the last thing you want is for everyone else to think you're stupid. So I began to fear others would reject me. So because I didn't want to be rejected, I would do things, and a lot of dumb things, to make people laugh so they would accept me. I can recall in grade 3 writing all over my face with blue ink to make some other students in the school laugh. Being sent to the washroom, scrubbing my face, getting that ink off, staring in a mirror, feeling just so stupid. Well then, as that was happening and I had this fear of rejection, now I developed a fear of failure, because if I was stupid and nobody was going to want to be around me, well, how could I ever succeed in life? And with the wall of failure, what began to happen with that was, well, I would actually get exams put in front of me when I was in school and my mind would go blank. I couldn't think of any answers no matter how hard I studied. And now on top of that, because how all these walls were growing, I got angry. Well, then of course there's adults in your life that really, they do want to help, but how they're trying to help is by focusing on your walls. Like, why are you acting like that? Or why don't you do things differently? Or why don't you do better? And when they were focusing on that and not on my gifts and abilities and encouraging my strengths, it actually made me more angry. The walls didn't come down. The walls got stronger. reality in life is I'm a caring, fun-loving, intelligent, encouraging person, but because of the walls, I got to the place where I couldn't see my gifts and abilities. And at the age of 16, I found myself sitting on my bed with my brother's hunting rifle across my lap, feeling like I was a waste of air and there was no reason to live. See, what had happened was the walls weren't protecting me. They were actually causing greater pain. See, others begin to identify us from our walls. The addict, the lazy person, the loner, that stupid person, the angry person, the bully, whatever it is. Then there is an even bigger challenge that comes. That becomes how I identify myself. And I can't see myself succeeding. But the walls are not who I really am. Who I really am is determined by the gifts and abilities inside of me. And these are almost always opposite to our walls. So look in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see past failures? Do you see things you don't like about yourself? Do you see an image distorted by walls? Or do you see your true image? A person designed and created with these amazing gifts and abilities and a desire to succeed. A person of significance. Identifying walls is important, but we can't focus on them. Instead, focus on those gifts and abilities inside, because as you focus on the gifts and abilities, your confidence will grow and the walls will come down. As a leader, you have a powerful opportunity. You can help people, especially young people, see beyond their walls to the gifts and abilities inside. You can speak to them. You can raise them up. And sometimes, because of the walls, those people, those youth, their image of themselves is so distorted and they can't really see who they are inside. But you can. And you have the opportunity to help find those gifts and abilities, to speak to them, to build them up so confidence can grow. And these people can believe in themselves. They can believe they are significant. They can believe they're designed for success. Because success is doing our best with what we're born with. It's choosing to focus on who we really are, not our circumstances or our walls. You're a hero. And a hero is a person who uses their gifts and abilities to make a positive change in themselves and others, despite any circumstance they face.